Hey class, this is your instructor giving you an example of what a paragraph should look like. Um, so I just wanted to kind of go over some of the key facts that ties in the outline to your essay. So those of you that struggle with the outline, you probably want to contact me through your individual form to set up an appointment to talk, or you can redefine your outline to look like mine. And to me, the worry is if students aren't watching these videos and just going and just doing the work, or watching the videos and kind of like thinking, let me just do this on my own. Sometimes that causes some point deductions that you don't want. Um, I want to reiterate, follow the videos to a T on your topic, on your way of doing, on your topic and the way you're structuring your essay. This is teaching you how to do it. So I'm going to show you some things here that relate to this right here in a minute. Let me go ahead and go to the outline. So last week, I didn't fill out everything on here because I'm not going to show you everything. But last week, you filled out your outline. And so I ignore that I don't have anything here. I want you to concentrate more on this part. Here's your thesis statement. Now, if your thesis statement's not correct, and you need to get it correct, work with me on it because it's worth 20% of the grade. The reason why is it sets up the structure. Because notice how in my subtopic 1, does not influence violence. So then my second subtopic below this one should say negative behaviors, and it does. And then my third would be poor education efforts. So without structure, an essay is all over the place. It doesn't make sense. It's chaotic. So the sentence and the structure have to match. So if you notice how in my thesis I have does not influence violence as my first subtopic, and notice how it's third person. I come down here and I have paraphrase statements. So it says 2 to 3. I always say 2. I'm going to show you with just 2. So how it's paraphrase means stating the fact in your own words. So I could read a whole paragraph and I could say, you know what, this is what I got out of it. And that's what I did with these two. This one actually came from 2 pages worth of data on the article. And I just basically summarized overall what I saw. There's a lot of numbers. I didn't have to give statistics. It's not what we're doing. You don't have to say, oh, well, 30% said this, 70% said that. You could just state that, research suggests that playing violent video games or watching violent television shows will not influence children to act out in aggressive violent behaviors. The second one is, according to Ferguson, it is up to parents to teach children that the videos and movies are not real life activities that merit behaviors. Here's the thing about the citation. Notice how I used the 2 different ways at the end, or if I put it in the sentence, I only have the year in the parentheses, and then I don't have to put the citation at the end. Follow this to a T, class, because the issue is that students are not following things to a T. You want to make sure you follow it to a T, okay? Notice how I just have one sentence. I'm not going to write a whole paragraph. So if you wrote a whole paragraph, you're going to have to simmer it down to just one sentence each. Okay? That's what you want to do. All right? So what I'm going to do is now, this is my subtopic 1. This is my introduction paragraph. So when you write your introduction, you're going to write at least 120 words or so of introducing your topic as if you would introduce it to anybody else. And then your last sentence will be the thesis statement. So my last statement in my intro will be violent video games and movies does not influence violence, negative behaviors, and poor education efforts. Okay. Then this will be my first paragraph. So if I'm going to write a paragraph based off my information off here, I'm going to take these two and discuss them in there. So take a look at these two. Now take a look at this. Okay. This is my paragraph, and I have it color coded for a reason. All right. But as I go up here, make sure you're not quoting, paraphrase, and still cite because you didn't do the study, even if you're saying your own words. Sorry about this. No quotes. Explain what the fact means in your own words, and then add an example or two. Okay. So as you come here, I'm breaking it down to look at the red one. The red wording is my facts. Okay. Notice how they're separated apart. Now, you can have a topic sentence that introduces the paragraph, and that's fine. There's more than one ways to do it. But what I'm showing you is a simplified way to show you that you're not over quoting. Oh, I'm sorry, over citing. Don't quote. Um, so putting too much facts in a paragraph is also part of the 20% rule. A lot of students think, well, as long as I keep it under 20% for quoting, I'm good. No, no. If you have a lot of cited facts in here that are written in your own words, it's paraphrased, that still follows the 20% rule because majority of your essay should be in your own words. And notice how I have a sentence here and a sentence here that's stating something from the article. But look, majority of it is in my own words. That's right there. That's 131 words plus 100 words. So 231 words of the 281 words is my analysis. Okay, that's how you write an academic essay. An academic essay is not you projecting your thoughts or your beliefs, because I do not believe in having my kids play violent games or watching violent television. I don't do that. That's why I picked this research article to show you that even though I don't believe in it, and this won't change my mind, I'm presenting what research states, because the opposite, you can find the opposite that proves it, because a study done in a different area could possibly show that it causes violence. Okay, so there's research that might show both. When you change the variables in the study, you can get different answers. So that's why studies suggest results. They don't provide actual quote unquote facts. But when you see me use the word fact, it's because I'm using it as in terms of trying to illustrate to students who look at research as fact. Okay. So when you look at this paragraph, I'm not presenting what I believe. I'm telling you what the researchers found. Okay. So after my first cited fact that I wrote in my own words and did not quote, I'm telling you what it means. This means that children are safe to play violent video games because they are not influenced to act out in violent demeanors. And I go on to discuss um, what the researchers are conveying in this study, in that one fact there that's cited. Then I say, for example, and notice how I use Grand Theft Auto as an example. It's very specific, it's very direct, and it paints the picture of what violence is, because Grand Theft Auto is a pretty violent video game that children will play. Okay. Um, and then I go to my second cited fact. Now you don't have to cite them like this. You could say according to research, and at the end state the researchers, like how we do it up here. I'm just showing you two different ways of doing it, and I'm still not quoting. And then this one says it is up to parents to teach children that the video games and movies are not real life activities that merit behaviors. So in other words, while you're in the home, parents, it's up to parenting. If children see something on TV, the parents should explain it to them. Okay, that TV's make believe, television's make believe, and you shouldn't mimic the behavior in public or at school. Okay, and then the example I gave, which is a pretty generic example, but it's true. Think about guns; they can be dangerous. But if parents teach their children that guns are not toys, then the child will grow respecting guns as a weapon. So I gave an example of kind of an outside example of like, hey, parenting works if you do it properly. Okay. So notice the pattern. The reason why I show this pattern is this is what I started out on my own. Nobody taught me this. When I started writing essays in my bachelor's degree, I said, you know what? I got to quote, so I got to cite less. And I told myself by the end of my bachelor's degree, this is how I'm going to do it. So when I got into my master's, I started getting really good grades because my professors are seeing more of analysis and critical thinking than they are me just regurgitating facts. Regurgitating facts doesn't mean you know how to write an essay. So if you're struggling with this, you could start out by saying stuff like, this means that, and then kind of go on and discuss it. Okay. Now, the essay is supposed to be 750 to 1,000 words. So, you have room. You have room. So this paragraph comes up to about 280. You know, so if all my paragraphs are close to 250, that comes out to about 750 for the three subtopics. That leaves me room to have introduction and conclusion, so I would be close to 1,000. All right. So this helps simplify a little bit of paragraph writing and showing you that you're using both your cited material from your outline. All right. It's a good way to structure the essay. It's a good way um, to keep it organized, and it shows more of your analysis than it does citing facts, because we're not writing book reports. We're not regurgitating a lot of facts and what he said, she said, and what researcher says, as far as like what they said directly on the article. You're taking two simple facts and you're basically saying, this is what they're saying. This is what it means. And here's an example. And when you can attach an example to uh, what you're discussing, one, you bring clarity. Without examples, the audience might get lost and maybe get the wrong impression. Okay, when you attach it to examples, it helps that. Also, in an academic sense, when your instructor sees you putting examples in there, it's when you tie example to something that you're learning, it shows that you truly understand it and you've learned it. So that's basically how you want to prepare your example. This is basically how you want to prepare your subtopic paragraphs, okay? And then you'll do the same with the next paragraph. You'll go back to your outline. You'll say, okay, hey, what's my next one? Negative behaviors. I don't have any information here, but okay, now I'm going to do my two-sided facts for negative behavior on my next paragraph after this first one, after the introduction. So I'll have my intro, my first topic, and then I'll hit enter and begin the other one. So again, is this how I want you to do it? Well, there's more than one ways to do it. You don't have to start out with your facts as first. You can if you want some kind of like, um, you know, training wheels type thing where you just to get you started, that's fine. If you're an experienced writer and you know how to like kind of blend it all in, you can do that too. I don't want you to be stuck to one thing, but I would advise to stick to something that's going to work. Okay? If you have any questions, reply to this post that you got this video from. Do not ask citation questions. I'm not going to count those because I just told you how to cite and I put another citation uh, post. But I do want you to ask questions about content, okay? If you have any questions, let me know.